This is the new Peugeot 5008 and it's been designed to give you a luxury car feel, but for a reasonable price. You see, the range kicks off from just £37,000, though the electric version does begin at £48,000. And this particular car with all the options is £53,000. So is it worth the money? Well, Peugeot have given it a cool looking interior, but is it all style over substance? There's lots of functionality, but is it as practical as some other seven-seaters? Or am I going to be putting the boot in because of a lack of boot space? Well, I'm going to be telling you everything you need to know about the new Peugeot 5008 in this video and whether it's any good. As with many other seven-seater SUVs, the Peugeot 5008 is a rather boxy looking car, though it does have some design je ne sais quoi. You see, Peugeot have recessed the window rubbers so you don't see them. It makes the car just look more expensive. That's a feature you get on a Range Rover. You also have these contour panels here at the rear. There's this satin trim. You can get it with a contrasting roof, plus some cool alloy wheel designs. They start 19s. These are the 20s. As with other Peugeots, the front is very distinctive. You have this grille that sort of blends into the bodywork. Then there's these three stripes here, supposed to be like lions' claws, and you can see how they sort of blend as well. The pattern goes into the headlight. The only thing I'm not so sure about is this big panel here, which has all like the sensors in it. Just looks a bit cheap. They could have done better with that bit, really. As for the back, well, it's fine. Yeah, though I will show you the lights because I like them. Thing is though, is this the kind of car you're going to be proud to be seen in on the school run or when you're driving around town? Let's find out. Let's see if anyone bats an eyelid at this car. I mean, it's brand new. Surely they should. There was actually no one here. I think I've driven into a ghost town. Oh look, yeah, he's smiling at the car. He clearly likes Peugeots. I'm just going to drive past this lady here. Look off your phone. Look, car, man, car. Look new, it's new. It couldn't be any more. Oh, and they turned around there. He checked it out then, although I'm not sure whether he's just wondering if I was about to squash him. Oops. No, she almost crashed into that car because she was too busy looking at this. It does get attention. Right, I'm going to let the van man go because what I'm about to do now would annoy him. I'm going to do the classic turning circle test. So what I'm going to do is press this button here because I've shortcutted to the 360-degree camera, which is an option. Let's do the UE. Turning circle is 11.2 metres, by the way, which is about average for these kind of cars. Look, see, I can just about get around there. Oh, he's going to be really cross at me. Sorry, I apologise, but my car looks better than yours. It's not my car, it's Peugeot's. Oh, do I risk it for a biscuit? Oh, look, sensors, cameras. This is brilliant. This is really, really tight. I think I'm going to do it. Actually, this car is quite easy to drive around town. Light steering, visibility is pretty decent. Apart from this, right? This central pod with the rear view mirror sort of blocks out some of the windscreen, and the view at the back window isn't the largest, but other than that, all fine. One thing to note though, the brakes. So if you have the regen in its least aggressive setting, there's a bit of like a dead bit at the very top of the brake pedal, so you press the pedal about that much and it doesn't engage the brakes at all. I think that little bit of dead play is just so that when you have it in the maximum regen mode, which you engage by pulling on this paddle, then you're not braking while having regen at the same time, so it doesn't get too jerky, because once you're used to the brakes, they're not bad at all. Show them at that creaking sound. It's also a shame there's no one pedal drive, so you do at some point have to press the brake pedal regardless of whether you're in the softest or the most aggressive regen mode. It's a real shame that they haven't fitted that technology to this car because it's useful. Anyway, let's check out the more important technology. Interior design is a Peugeot strong point. I mean, just look at this dash. It's super futuristic. I like this huge widescreen display here. It's very similar to those in a BMW, but remember, BMWs are a lot more expensive, though some of the definition isn't quite as good. Though more on the tech later on. I want to talk about the quality. So I like the materials, and generally it feels solid, but as you reach a bit lower down, and also, bear with me, down here, things can get a little bit scratchified, but overall at this price it feels very, very good. That's not all. You see, I like the small Peugeot steering wheel. It makes the car feel sporty. Now, some people don't like the fact that you have to look over it to see the dials, but I don't have a problem with it. And I also like the damped feeling of the switches on the steering column. Not so sure about that indicator noise though. So someone's just tapping at you from behind the dash. The seats in this particular GT version are very nice. So you've got like this Alcantara material and fake leather, and even look, Peugeot logo embossed in the headrest. Reminds me of Porsche, that. In terms of storage, so you've got an okay amount of storage under here. Look, it goes into there a little bit. The cup holders are large enough, and I'll show you exactly why. That you can fit a huge bottle in there. Not that you're going to drive along like that, but you could if you wanted to. There's another storage area here, and there you've got a 12-volt socket. You've got two USB-Cs there. They look like they're old school USBs, but they're not. They're actually the Cs. You've got your wireless charging there for your mobile phone. I'll show you the glove box in a bit. There's a reason for that, so bear with me. But the door bins, look, these are nice and large. If you come through here, I'll show you, and they're actually lined with felt, so things don't rattle about in there. That's a nice touch, though I think that's a bit too spring-loaded, that it could fire your glasses out of there, couldn't it? Though I do think that the vanity mirrors are nice and large. Yeah, hello, how you doing? And they're suitably illuminated. But there's something else I want to show you. You see, because there's not that many physical buttons, Peugeot's given you this little control screen here where you have various shortcut icons. So I can quickly go to like media, I can go to phone, I can go to the navigation. And if I want, I can mix and match some of these. So I just press and hold one, so I don't want that there. I can go for something else. But what you sometimes find is that you press a button accidentally and things come up like this that you don't want to be in that menu just because they're touch sensitive. Do you know what? In some ways, they're creating a solution for a problem they created in the first place by not having any buttons. So while that is quite clever and good, it'd just be easier if you had normal buttons, to tell you the truth. And I do find this infotainment system a little bit confusing. Like, well, what we're doing now, is that all fine? Yes, okay, that'll do. Let's have a little bit of a zip around the infotainment system itself and just, come on, work. See what I mean? It's not quite operating in the way that I want it to. I'm sure if you own the car, you'll get used to it and it'll all be fine. But come on, I want to just show how responsive you are. No, it's probably because I'm in the wrong thing, maybe, I don't know. It's not really quite doing what I want it to do right now. It's really annoying when it's on a film. Anyway, also the driver's display. I'm not the biggest fan of the layout of it. So to cycle through, you press these buttons just here on the stalks and you can go to different views and so on and so forth. But it's not the clearest again, really. In some ways, just traditional dials just do the job a bit better. But, you know, I could level this criticism at lots of other cars, to tell you the truth. However, here's one that doesn't have such problems. So click on the pop-out banner up there to follow my in-depth video review of it, or scan the QR code on screen now. Do you know what? It's all kind of irrelevant anyway, because you're just going to connect your phone and use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto anyway. And to be fair, on this shortcut menu, I like this feature. Let's go into the climate. Come on, climate. So you can set something just as you want it. So you have to turn the climate on. Come on, turn on. There we go, we're on. So I can set, for instance, that particular thing, press and hold the button, so you get rid of media, look, and then make that the feature that I want, this current setting there. See? So you can actually have it, so that's my preferred temperature, boom, take me straight to that, or you can control the fan speed with it. Let's try and do the fan speed actually. Wait, no, you can't. Why can't you do the fan speed? Do you know what? Filming this part of the video has made me think. You see, someone who owns this car or someone who works at Peugeot is probably going, Matt, you idiot, you did this, that, and what have you. In the past, I used to be able to jump in a car and operate the climate control to the exact temperature I wanted, just like that. I didn't have to figure it out. Just saying. You see the climate control buttons here in the back, once again, are touch sensitive, but they are easy to operate and you can lock them. They've been locked, look, you see. So if you don't want the kids in the back altering the temperature, you can do that without having to just say, stop changing the temperature. Now, in terms of space back here, look, you can slide the rear seats forwards and backwards. Knee rooms, that's good enough, even for people with long legs. And look, there's enough foot space so you can just squeeze your toes underneath the seat in front, and the footwells are quite spacious as well. And unlike in some other electric cars where there's a very short distance between the seat and the footwell, this isn't so bad. So you do have some decent under thigh support when you're sat in the car. You can recline the seat backs as well, which is good. And let's just try the middle seat out. Okay, so it's nowhere near as comfortable as the outer two seats, unfortunately, but headroom is okay. Though the way this slopes in quite a lot like that, I think if you had 3 people in the back at once, it could be problematic. But do you know what, Lewis? Why don't you come and sit in the middle seat? All right, imagine you're in the middle seat. And now look, this is the issue. Now I've got him sat there, my head is right up against that. That is not very good. Thanks, Lewis. Thanks, Lewis. You're just getting give me a headache. If you're changing your car, then you've got to check out Carwow, because there's nothing quite like knowing that you're getting a great price, both when selling your old car and finding a new one. Carwow makes all the stuff that's hard work about car changing, like the haggling, the no-shows, and the nasty surprises, a thing of the past, life-changing. Now, if you want to go to Carwow right now, I'll put a link in the description of this video and the pinned comment. Alternatively, you can click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen now, or scan the QR code on screen using your mobile phone to go directly there. Car change, Carwow. I'll tell you what will also give you a headache, range anxiety. You see, this E5008 is supposed to do 310 miles on a full charge, but I'm averaging 3 miles per kilowatt hour. Multiply that out by the battery capacity of 73 kilowatt hours, and the real world range works out to around 220 miles. So that's about 70% of what it's supposed to do. Oh dear. Let's see how peppy it is though. So 40 mile an hour, I'm going to floor it and see how quick it takes to get to 70. So here we are. 3, 2, 1, go. Not really that quick for an electric car. Now when you're cruising at speed, it feels really quite comfy. A little bit of wind noise, just a little, that's it. Yeah, I could do as many miles as the battery will enable me to. Anyway, I'm going to just jump in the back. Okay, so headroom, I can get away with that. And I'm of average height, 179 centimetres. I do feel like my bum is a bit close to the floor. I haven't got much under thigh support, but the big test is this. How much knee room am I going to have? So let's just pull this down. You know, that's not too bad. Though, Lewis, just show how much knee room there is. And I've slid this seat quite a way forward, so we're going to get Lewis in that seat. You're struggling. What I'm going to allow you to do is get your knees in a semi-comfortable situation. I'm going to see where you slide back to. Go on. Do it in a way, you know, in a position that you'd be happy to. Oh, okay. Right. How tall are you, Lewis? You're like 6 foot or something?
Yeah, 6 foot.
Okay, so you've got just about enough knee room. Me, it's not so good. I'm a little bit hemmed in here now. There's something else I want to show you that's not quite so good. Look, there's not much functionality here in the third row. Look at the cup holders. This is what you get for a cup holder. This very shallow, square-shaped cup holder. So, can I have a bottle, please? What? He's giving me the big bottle. I mean, that's not, look, no. Right, can I have a normal size bottle? Thanks. So that fits in there, but look, it's so shallow that you easily knock it over. And there's no USBs to like charge your mobile devices back here. There is an old school look 12-volt socket up there that the kids can fight over, but it's somewhat lacking, isn't it, in terms of functionality. I wonder if it's any better in this middle row. So you've got an armrest here, and there's exposed cup holders, which can be a bit annoying when you're trying to rest your arm there. Now they are quite shallow, but there are these little grippers, which means that you're less likely to drop your bottle. Also, look, you do have through loading facility, which is handy. This isn't quite so good though. Look, these nets are quite shallow. Why can't they just have them all the way up here? There's this pointless storage bin there. 2 USBs though, and a 12-volt socket. So it's okay actually, isn't it, so far? Let's just show you this. Look, you can get these sun blinds, which is good for your children. Will the back windows go all the way down? Oh, I've got to turn the car on, bear with me. I'm betting not, based on the shape of them. Oh, God. So will they go all the way down? I'm guessing not, because they are rather huge. No, it's a bit of a shame. What about the door bins? So look, big bottle will fit. So reasonably practical here in the middle row. But what about the boot? Even with all 7 seats in place, Peugeot says this car has 350 litres of load space, which would be not much less than a Volkswagen Golf. However, this doesn't look as roomy as the boot on a Volkswagen Golf, does it? I'll show you why. Let me just move this out, and well, actually it's quite handy that there's no load lip, so you can slide heavy things out like that Pelly case. You see, look, a lot of the space is actually underneath this false floor. So that's why you got your 350 litres of space. Now let me just fold down these seat backs. Very easy to do, just pull on these tabs and push them down. those middle row seats are probably a little bit too close to it. So yeah, look, now you've got a really big boot, lots and lots of room. I'm going to fold down the middle row now, so if you just go around, I want to show you something that I forgot to show you before. To get in and out the very back, you just pull the seat forward like that, and it's not too hard to get in. Look, it's a decent amount of room to get into the very back. It is a bit annoying that you do have to come all the way around to fold down the middle row. In fact, I should do it this way around. It's just going to be easier, isn't it? Up. There we go, fold that one, pull that tab, fold that one, and then pull that one. There we go. So then, yeah, absolutely loads and loads of room. And obviously, this being the EV version, there's some more space at the front, isn't there? So, maybe there's some spare space here. Look, I can fit things there. They're probably not supposed to be fitted there, but that'll do. Is the engine and motor choices on this car sufficient? Well, to find out the various options, just pause the video now. We've got a nice handy table for you. You can also find out about the charging and all that kind of electrical stuff on this E5008. But which version of this car should you go for? Well, to help you decide, I've actually configured my ideal Peugeot 5008 using the Carwow configurator to see what the model is and which version I've gone for exactly, and the saving on it through Carwow. Click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or follow the QR code with your mobile phone. Just scan it, so it'll take you there. Should we find out how quick this thing is? So I'm going to use my specialist timing gear up here to time this car from 0 to 60 miles an hour. Just going to floor the accelerator. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, front wheel drive power. That seemed quite slow. It's funny, isn't it? Like 8.6 to 60 seems slow, but back when I was growing up, that was a really, really quick 0 to 60 time for a hot hatch. I think that's like similar 0 to 60 time that you get out of a Peugeot 205 GTI 1.6. Though you don't want to be doing it too often in this car because you're going to chew through your battery and your range will be even worse. And that brings us on to 5 annoying things about the Peugeot 5008. Well, fitting a child seat isn't the hardest thing in the world. The Isofix anchor points there, look, just in those gaps. Whack, whack, we're in. And there is enough room for a bulky rear-facing seat. You only actually have 2 locations for Isofix, one here and one on this seat. There's no front Isofix and there's none in the very back either. Some other large SUVs do offer that facility, and if you want to see one of those right now, just click on the pop-out banner or follow the QR code on screen now to watch my review of that car. You might need it if you've got a big family. In order to keep the exterior design of the tailgate nice and uncluttered, Peugeot's hidden the switch to open the boot just underneath there. And that is actually very thin, so it's rather uncomfortable on your hands when you operate it. See, look, see? The drive select lever is just too far away and in the silly place here on the dash. Look, see? I can't reach it without leaning forward, so you have to lean forward like that every time you want to press it, like that. Why don't they just have it on the steering column? Why on earth is this charge port cover so blooming big? Look at the size of that, and look at the size of that. I've been literally dying to show you this. Look, classic Peugeot. Small glove box because I think the fuse, no. The fuse box is in there. See, there, some fuses and stuff. They didn't switch those across when they switched the steering wheel across, converting it from left-hand drive to right-hand drive. At least it's better than it used to be. You now have this little bin area there that you can, I don't know, what you're going to keep in there. Wasn't me. Now you might think that another bad thing about this car is the way it handles. Let's find out. Here's some corners. Is it going to tip over? Leans a little bit, but then it kind of just checks itself and it grips and goes round. I actually find this car to handle better than I imagine it would, bearing in mind that it weighs in at 2.2 tons for this electric version. The suspension on this car is really quite soft, so you get this floaty feeling as you're driving along, a bit like a big squidgy comfy bed. It can sometimes get a little bit upset if it hits like a sudden bump and then it can like skip sideways. You know, when you're on a big comfy bed and then someone rolls over next to you and it sends like that ripple through the bed to you and you're like, oh, you moved and you woke me up.
Oh God. No, Neil!
Also, on really kind of like imperfect roads, like bumpy, small little bumps and stuff, it does fidget a little bit. But that might be something to do with those huge 20-inch alloy wheels. There's not much tyre sidewall to give you extra cushioning. Overall though, I do find this car pretty pleasant to drive, apart from one thing that does really annoy me. I want to put my feet like this because this tunnel actually eats into the footwell, that you end up putting your knee up there, then you bash it against there. But how will that affect my final verdict on this car? Should you avoid, consider, shortlist, or just go right ahead and buy the 5008? Well, in the case of the electric version, I would say shortlisted. However, if you're looking at the petrol, which is far better value, just go right ahead and buy it. It is a really good all-round family-friendly SUV that looks more expensive than it actually is. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. Click on the video windows for some more videos and on the Carwow logo to see how much you can save on your next car. Thanks for watching.